बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपी जनवल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजना यशोदानंद यमुना तीरावनचार्य यमुना तीरावनचार्य जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe. Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha Baladeva Jaya Subhadramaya. Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. निताई गौर प्रेमानंदी ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की श्रील प्रभुपाद की. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय. नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयामुदीरये. नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु भागवत सेवया भगवते उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी. कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः. Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 5th canto, 10th chapter. Maharaj Rahugana meets Jadabharata. Text number 15. It is in the prose order. I will read the sloka and repeat word meaning. सचापि पाण्डवेय सिन्धु सुविरपतिस्तत्त्वा जिज्ञासयां सम्यक् श्रद्धया कृत तद्दृढ्या ग्रन्थिमोचं द्विजवचा अश्रुत्य बहुयोगा ग्रन्थसम्मतं त्वया युर्वह्या शिरसा पादमूलम् उपसृष्टा क्षमापण्य विगता नृपा देव सम्यवाच. Please read word to word meaning. Saha, he, Maharaj Rahugana, cha, also, api, indeed, Pandaveya, O best of the Pandu dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, Sindhu Suvira Patihi, the king of the states known as Sindhu and Suvira, Tattva Jijñasayam, in the matter of inquiring about the absolute truth, Samyak Shraddha, Samyak Shraddhaya, by faith consisting of complete control of the senses and the mind, Adhikritya Adhikara, who attend the proper qualification, that that Hridaya Grandhi, the knot of false conceptions within the heart, Mochanam, which eradicates, Dvijavachaha, the words of the Brahmana, Jadabharata, Ashrutya, hearing, Pahayoga Grantha Sammatam, approved by all yogic processes and their scriptures. Tvaraya, very hastily, Avaruhya, getting down from the palanquin, Sirasa, by his head, Padamulam, at the lotus feet, Upasrutaha, falling down flat to offer obeisances, Kshamapayan, obtaining pardon for his offense, Vigata Nrupa Devasmayaha, giving up the false pride of being the king and therefore being worshipable. Vacha said, translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami continued, O best of the Pandu dynasty, Maharaj Parikshit, the king of Sindhu and Suvira states, Maharaj Rahugana, had great faith in the discussions of the absolute truth. Being thus qualified, he heard from Jadabharata that philosophical presentation, which is approved by all the scriptures on the mystic yoga process and which slackens the knot in the heart. His material conception of himself as a king was thus destroyed. He immediately descended from his palanquin and fell flat on the ground with his head at the lotus feet of Jadabharata in such a way that he might be excused for his insulting words against the great Brahmana. He then prayed as follows. In the Bhagavad Gita 4.2, Lord Krishna says, Evam parampara praptam imam rajarshyo viduhu सकाले नेह महता योगो नष्टा परन्तप. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in the course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Through the disciplic succession, the royal order was on the same platform as great saintly persons, Raja Rishis. Formerly, they could understand the philosophy of life and knew how to train the citizens to come to the same standard. In other words, they knew how to deliver the citizens from the entanglement of birth and death. When Maharaj Dasharatha ruled Ayodhya, the great sage Vishwamitra came to him to take away Lord Ramachandra and Lakshmana to the forest to kill a demon. In the saintly person, Vishwamitra came to the court. Maharaj Dasharath, the king, in order to receive the saintly person, asked him, Ahistam yattat punarjanma jayaya. He asked the sage whether everything was going on well in his endeavor to conquer the reputation of birth and death. The whole process of Vedic civilization is based on this point. We must know how to conquer the reputation of birth and death. Maharaj Rahugana also knew the purpose of life. Therefore, when Jadabartha put the philosophy of life before him, he immediately appreciated it. That is the foundation of Vedic society. Learned scholars, Brahmanas, saintly persons, and sages who are fully aware of the Vedic purpose advise the royal order how to benefit the general masses, and their and by their cooperation the general masses were benefited. Therefore, everything was successful. Maharaj Rahugana attained this perfection of understanding the value of human life. Therefore, he regretted his insulting words to Jadabharata, and he immediately descended from his palanquin and fell down at the lotus feet of Jadabharata in order to be excused and to hear from him further about the values of life, known as Brahma Jijnasa, inquiry into absolute truth. At the present moment, high government officials are ignorant of the values of life, and when saintly persons endeavor to broadcast the Vedic knowledge, the so called executives do not offer their respectful obeisances but try to obstruct the spiritual propaganda. Thus, one can say that the formerly kingly government was like heaven and the present government is like hell. जय श्री शारदा मदन मोहन की, श्री श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा मैया की, श्री श्री गौरताय की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनाशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामी निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमा प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नामिने गौरत्युषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, seeking blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this very exalted verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, what I heard from my superiors as a service to all the Vaishnavas, as a glorification to Lord and for my own purification. So here we can see in this section Maharaj Bharata, he ended up becoming a deer, and again now another life he took birth as Jada Bharata. So he never spoke to anybody till now. So even to the dacoits also he did not protested any time. He never protested any of the insults, atrocities made by his own brothers. So first time he spoke the science of soul, Atmanyan, to Maharaj Rahugana. So there is a saying that you cannot see a saintly person with your eyes. You can see a saintly person when he speaks. So till that time you cannot understand who is who. Huh? So here also uh, Maharaj Rahugana could see actually Jada Bharat when he started speaking. Till that time he saw him, but he didn't understood him. So that's why Prabhupada also writes in some purport, the fool remains undetected as long as he doesn't speak. So when he starts speaking, you will understand he's a fool. So here, and not only that, the greatness of Maharaj Rahugana is actually he could appreciate what Jadabharat is saying. So it's not so easy to appreciate something very great unless we are also on that level. It takes one to know one, it is said. So Maharaj Rahugana could appreciate the teachings of Jadabharat means he is also not ordinary personality. So that's what it is told. He is very much interested in discussion on the absolute truth. And he is also going to attend one discourse only to Kapila Ashrama. Now on the way only, the palanquin carrier only giving the class. No need to go till that place. No, in between only class started before. So, Prabhupada writing here that in those days the kings are like Rajarshis. They possess so much knowledge about the absolute truth, and they used to rule the citizens also keeping that in mind. Everybody should be delivered and go back to Godhead. So in that way they used to arrange all the policies and all the systems in such a way that actually the practice of Krishna consciousness is facilitated in their lives. So in that way, they are very, very great souls, Rajarshis. Hmm. That's why that sloka is there. Don't become a father, don't become a mother, don't become the king if you cannot deliver your dependents from the clutches of death. So he is such saintly king, but little bit covered up by the designation of the king. So here, Prabhupada giving the example about Maharaj Dasharad. He is also very great saintly king. And when Vishwamitra Muni came to ask help from the Maharaj Dasharad, so the first question he asked him that, Ahityam yattat punarjanma jaya. Because he is a saintly person, he is a yogi. So what his daily endeavors is, how you are performing your activities by which you can conquer over the cycle of birth and death. Generally, when we meet some student who is preparing for some IIT, JEE, then what we ask, how is your preparation going on? Right? If you meet some businessman, you ask how the business is going on. Right? So, like that, if you meet some scientist, you ask how the research is going on. So, the questions are generally you ask in a relevant way according to that person. In those days, somebody sent one message when uh, children are very small, they will be asked, "What is your age?" When they grow little big, they asked, "How much marks you are getting?" you know. When they grow little bit, they will be asked, "What is the salary you are getting?" Yeah. Afterwards, how many children you have? बच्चे कितना है, सैलरी कितना है, afterwards बीपी शुगर कितना है, afterwards pension कितना है, like that the questions are asked, and in the end it is asked finally, Yamadutas will ask, Harinam kitna kiya? जीवन में हरिनाम कितना किया? Like that in the end Yamadutas will ask. So here, if you see, Dasarath Maharaj is asking the relevant inquiry because uh, Vishwamitra is always engaged in that. So Prabhupada is writing actually here. In the olden days, the saintly people are very much appreciated and welcomed. Even in the Prabhupada daily quotes, one quote is there actually. In Prabhupada, when he walking in Vrindavan, he happened to go into one of the fields, walking. And the people come running. Swamiji, Amara Bhagya Kul gaya. Today you came to our farm. They offer obeisances and they bring some vegetables and everything to give. And Prabhupada says, see, this is the Indian culture. If anybody saintly person goes, they are so much welcomed. If the same thing happened to Western countries, they will shoot also. That trespassers are prosecuted, like that they will shoot. So that is the difference actually, if you see. And Prabhupada wanted actually this Vedic culture should be followed even by the great politicians also. That's why Prabhupada went to Indira Gandhi with some proposal that all the members of parliament should be 16 rounders initiated, not only initiated, twice initiated, Brahman initiated. And all the parliament meeting should start with Kirtan, and there should be discussion on Bhagavatam in the parliament. So if they really could have followed what Prabhupada said, it will be very, very wonderful. And Prabhupada also says actually, We all nowadays going to various countries to learn technology, and as a beggars we are going. And if you want to really get some glory to India, you should offer something great to them. Then only they will appreciate. If you don't offer anything great, what they will appreciate? So we have something very great to offer. That is Krishna consciousness. If you offer that, then India's glory will be really, known to the people. So in that way, that is a way of getting glorification to the country, not by any other means, by giving technology or money and all these things. So that's what Prabhupada did also. Uh, so the current government which is there is Prabhupada telling here. Uh, Thus one can say the former kingly government was like heaven and the present government is like hell. So democracy nowadays, if you see, this is the government is democracy. And how people elect, the people elect the leaders also based on the sense gratification. Whoever offers the best sense gratification, and people vote for them. And if they are not able to fulfill that sense gratification, whatever they promise, they pull him down. And Prabhupada gives the example about a Nixon in one of the country, and the people disliked him and they pulled him down because he is not able to cater to the needs of the people. So that's why now you see so many policies are made by government, so many money people are given, for so many things. If child is born, money. If there is marriage, money. Old age, money. So many places, money, money, money everywhere. It is given. Education loan, health loan, everywhere money, money, money. That's we can see everywhere they are trying to pamper the people's senses. So in that way, nobody is after actually serving the people. Everybody want to keep their post. How they will continue next time also. And that's only the process everywhere it is going on. So in that way, nobody can be happy. Here, as soon as Maharaj Rahugana heard from Jadabharata the science of soul, he immediately awakened to his real identity. So it is very clearly written actually, approved by all the scriptures on the mystic yoga process, and which slackens the knot in the heart. So the knot in the heart is what? It is designations. Everybody in this world is after some designation, post, position, power. So everybody want to recognize it as a something, in good position. So, but bhakti means to free from all the designations. Sarva upadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. Rishikena rishikesa sevaram bhakti ruchyate. So, as long as we hold on to some designations, the result is that we are partial to one section of the people and we are biased towards other section of the people. So this is the problem with Arjuna also. When he began that war, he started to identify himself as the member of the Kuru dynasty. And because of that, he doesn't want to fight, even though they are supposed to be punished. So after hearing Bhagavad Gita, then he understood actually, I belong to Krishna, not to them. So then he told, Nasto moha smritirlabdha tat prasadat maya achyuta stitosmi gata sandeha karishye vachanam tava. So now he is freed from all the temporary designations. Our original designation is Jivera Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, and all our other designations come later. It is said in the Bhagavatam, in one of the 10th canto, I think. So it is said, as soon as child is born, designation starts. The mother puts a stamp on his face saying, my child. That is first designation. And afterwards you go to the school puts one designation. It is our student. one more stamp, and afterwards he goes into job, and the company puts our employee, you know, and afterwards he gets married, and and the husband or wife, they puts one more designation. It is my husband, my wife, like that. Yeah. Afterwards he gets a children, and they put one more designation, one more stamp. That is my father, my mother, like that. So many designations we carry. So in that way, uh, we belong to so many people. It's not that actually we, our body is a common property. It is said, Bhagavatam says, it is not your own property, it is common property. Hmm. So how much it is justified to work for common property? Huh? It is not yours alone, it belongs to so many people, but we are thinking that it is mine. So in that way we have so many designations in this world. So, and Prabhupada also, first time when he met his Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, there also in that past time, Prabhupada identified himself as Indian, you know, and he told actually what is the use of propagating this Krishna consciousness, because we are under the just subjugation of some British rule, you know, what uh, it doesn't serve any purpose. Then, by the teachings of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, actually, Prabhupada completely got cleared actually. So, this is a temporary identity, and the service we are going to offer is also very, very temporary based on that understanding. But when you understand that I am the Jivara Swarupa Krishna Nityadas, and based on that, when you render service to the society, that is long lasting service. And his conception got changed completely. Hmm. And to the extent actually, Prabhupada is so much convinced at that time. Prabhupada says that during the time the Second World War is going on, you know, Prabhupada did not try to sort out any temporary things. At that time also he is printing the Back to Godhead magazine and propagating the message. Yeah? And even his business is not going on well. At that time also, Prabhupada says this is also a temporary thing actually. My family is not good, business is not going on well. At that time also, he is also after preaching. And on the top of it, there are some disputes in the Gaudiya Math among God brothers. You know, that also did not discourage Prabhupada from preaching Krishna consciousness. Because everything is temporary in this world, only service to the Guru and Krishna is only eternal. So, to that extent, Prabhupada got completely convinced actually that it is the emergency. Huh? That's what Prabhupada wrote in every chapter, in every purport also, somewhere or the other, it manifests actually. Krishna consciousness is the most emergency. So, and we see that when Prabhupada obtained one land in Jhansi, one of the building, at that time also, that building was claimed by one of the lady. She is the wife of governor, and they wanted to start one mahila mandal for women's liberation, something. And Prabhupada says this is very limited cause actually. You want to uplift some woman or something, but that is very, very limited cause, but my cause is universal. Understand? So you, if you offer that building to us in the service of Krishna, it can serve better. Hmm. So in that way, everybody is after very, very limited causes, because of one designation means it serves only one particular class of people. Hmm. So here, Jadabharata is so much broad actually. In that way, he is concerned about the ants also, not only about uh, Rahugana, he is concerned about Rahugana also. That's why he is preaching science of soul to him. And no, he is also trying to take care of the ants also. Vidya Vinay Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastine Sunichaya Supakecha Pandita Samadarshina. So he is not just actually is traveling Rahugana and saving ants. He is saving Rahugana also. It's not that we are trying to do some good to one particular class of people and ruin the other class of people. So in that way, it is very, very instructive actually about. uh, so the problem in this world, actually the designations which are there, it acts like a kind of intoxication, and in that we forget the reality. So uh, sometimes people say about organized religions like we have in Iskcon, it looks like a company or something, so many designations are there, you know. So, but if you see, there are organized hospitals are there, right? So many departments are there about different, ophthalmology, dermatology, orthopedic. Like there, so many departments are there and well organized. We like that. Hospital should be organized. When you go to supermarket, also everything is organized, right? Different things are put in different places, particularly named and everything. So we like organized supermarkets. If you go to airport, also that is also organized, right? If you go to schools, also it is also organized. IIT section, all these different things. So why not spiritual thing organized? So the problem with organization is actually wherever organization is there, there comes about post, position, money, popularity. All these things comes into picture. So everybody takes up the indifferent post position and they want to be seen as the most important person. So that is the things takes upper hand. So in that way, the problem in the organized religion is this actually. People are after this name, fame, recognition, and everything. But unless these things are there to propagate the teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, which are there, this is very, very helpful. But unless the main thing is not kept as main thing, then it leads to a lot of problems. Hmm? So, and Prabhupada said actually, in our institution, there are two secret weapons we have kept. One is holy name, another is Bhagavatam. So if these things are taken care, they always create revolution. Hmm? Even though we get carried away, the Bhagavatam message and the holy name, they bring us back to our senses and they keep us grounded. So when these things are not taken care, then the person gets carried away by the designations. Hmm. So if you see, the whole battle is that only in our life. It is uh, while dealing with this world, the world, it so much induces some false ego into our consciousness, and because of the false ego, person ends up behaving in a way, uh, in a prideful way. So here also, even though Maharaj Rahugana, even though such a great personality, very, very exalted personality, he also got carried away for momentarily carried away, and he spoke in a very, very insulting way. But as soon as he heard about the message, he immediately came to senses and he offered obeisances and asked forgiveness and everything. So in that way, this happens to us on daily basis. On our daily basis, actually, we get carried away immediately, and we again come back to our consciousness by engaging in the service and by bowing down before the deity. In one sense, it is what? Accepting that I am your servant. It is all a subtle ways of again coming back to our original state. And we can see this this pastime about Kanakadas. It comes in the Udupi Mutt. There is a Vyasa Tirtha, and he keeps the test actually, that we hear that story that a guru gives the fruit to disciples and tells, eat where nobody is seeing. In that, so many different scholars are there, big performance of yajna, that kind of people are also there, very, very austere people are also there. So, and Kanakadas also one of the very illiterate disciple of Vyasatirtha. And everybody was given that fruit and was told, you go and eat where nobody is seeing. So everybody goes and eats that fruit. One fellow goes behind the altar room and they eat, thinking that nobody is seeing. One fellow covers up the blanket and inside that he goes and eat. One fellow goes inside a tree, hollow tree, and they eats and thinking that nobody is seeing. So like that everybody does. And only this Kanakadas only comes back and he gives the fruit, telling that, so I couldn't eat. Because wherever I go, I feel that Supreme Lord in the form of Paramatma is watching. Then becomes so happy. And by seeing that, all others people become more and more envious actually. So one day, uh, Vyasatirtha want to prove the greatness of Kanakadas, and he asks actually in front of everybody. And he starts glorifying each and every disciple. Here is a disciple, he is very, very expert in all the four Vedas. He can recite any section of the Vedas at any moment of time. So, do you think he will go back to Godhead? Then Kanakadas says, my dear Guru Maharaj, in Vaikunta, Lord Narayan doesn't require any scholars. you know, there are enough scholars are there. Oh, and then he asks one more person, and he is very, very expert in doing pujas and vratas and homas and everything. So, do you think he will go back to Godhead? Lord Narayan doesn't require any kind of people who are performers of rituals in the Vaikunta. Okay, if he doesn't go, then there is one more disciple is there. He is very, very austere. He is very, very austere. He eats very meagerly and he does so many fastings and everything. Do you think he will go back to Godhead? Lord Narayan doesn't require any kind of this austere people. And then Vyasadeva asks actually, I am the guru of all these people. What do you think? I will go back to Godhead. Then with all due respect, because you are the person who enlightened all of us, but Lord Narayan doesn't require any gurus in the Vaikunta. So in that way he says, if you think you are the spiritual master, you are enlightening everybody, then you are also not eligible. Directly he says. Then he asks, what about you, Kanakadas? You will go? Then he says, actually, if I can go, then I may go. He says. So that's what is holding us actually, that I, which is there, which is the false ego, that is holding us actually. So, who is liberated person actually, who is freed from all the problems? Jiva Krishnadas ei Vishwas Korla Tuara Dukhanai. One who identifies himself as Krishnadas, he is freed from the all miseries. That one of our devotee always quotes, Mayadas Sada Udas, Krishnadas Bindas. So the purpose of association is actually to make us convince actually we are supposed to control in this world, but on behalf of Guru and Krishna. So in that way you are free. But when you think that I am the independent controller, then the problem starts. That's how Indra also became problematic actually. He also supposed to control, give the reins and everything on behalf of the Vishnu. But he thought himself that I am the soul and whole controller. Then the problem started actually. So Krishna saved Indra by lifting Govardhan hill and destroying his pride. So in that way, Krishna saved Indra. It is said, when Krishna is merciful upon you, he destroys our pride. If Krishna is not merciful upon you, Krishna allows the pride to destroy you. So in that way, Indra is getting destroyed because of his pride, but Krishna saved him by destroying his pride. So here also, by hearing the message from the Jadabharata, all his designation got destroyed. Till now he was thinking that I am the king, but now he understood actually I am not just king, I am just a servant of the Lord and playing the part of a king. So in that way, King Rahugana completely came back to his senses. So these are our few thoughts. It is our the purpose of our daily practice also is to reinstate ourselves. So that is a dharma samsthapanardaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Krishna comes to establish dharma. So within our heart also, that we lose our dharma. So the purpose of our sadhana and seva is to always reinstate in our constitutional position. So then we are completely at safe. Thank you all very much for your patient hearing. Hare Krishna. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय.